Hello out there in YouTube land. Today we are talking about something that can not only be used on its own as a drum machine in the studio or on stage, but as an add-on to the drums you already have. It's got a library of 200 plus percussion sounds. You can connect to an external device via MIDI or USB, 8 dual zone isolated rubber pads, an SD card slot for sample storage, and loading custom kit creations, and much, much more. We're taking a second look at the Alesis SamplePad Pro with the help of Kevin Fournier, a local drummer, singer, and songwriter who has a new LP coming out and also a new live show. That's coming up next on Roy's Studio Adventures.
The Alesis SamplePad Pro boasts impressive features, including its 8 dual-zone isolated rubber pads with dynamic blue LED illumination, versatile trigger inputs for adding more pads or triggers, a built-in library of 200 percussion sounds, SD card slot for sample storage and loading, custom kit creation, stereo quarter-inch outputs for live performance, and the ability to connect to external devices via MIDI and USB, flexible percussion pad for drummers and electronic musicians. Yes, the Alesis SamplePad Pro can be a great addition to your drums on stage. Its versatile features, including multiple trigger inputs, a wide range of built-in percussion sounds, and the ability to load custom samples, allow drummers to enhance their live performances with additional textures and sounds. Whether you want to trigger samples, add electronic elements, or expand your drum kit's capabilities, the SamplePad Pro provides the flexibility and functionality to elevate your on-stage drumming experience.
Promise it won't bring tears to your eyes if you hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell, and like, so you can be notified of upcoming videos.
Jazz brush, we got rock now. Just gonna turn them up on each pad here, because I don't know how to do it for the whole thing. That's gonna be a lot easier to get some sounds out of it. And I find it a bit strange that each of the hi-hats closed position isn't all the way closed. I wonder if that's something changeable too. Yeah, it's got like open and slightly open, but not like a truly closed.
Hello.
I like it. I like that one.
Latency better?
Actually, yeah, that's much better. I'm in like the auxiliary percussion section now. What did you change to deal with the latency?
I just sped it up a little bit.
Oh, cool. Yeah, that's much more responsive now. I think that's all the samples. So 10 kits. Let's go back to the original ones now that we're not dealing with the problems.
I'd like to give a shout out to Central Music for loaning us the Alesis SamplePad Pro for review.
It's a bit awkward to try to play it as a drum set, like to have like the bass drum and the snare drum like in your left hand there. I think that the use for this would be more like, at least for me, in the way that I would use it, is as like having my actual kick drum there and then using this as like special effects.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like the hand clap as the snare drum, or like the ones that I mentioned, the trap hi-hat and stuff like that. But like somebody who's more skilled on one of these would be able to probably make more music with it.
Yeah.
But for me, it would be like I have a specific kind of use for it. And I think most people that I've seen with one of these use it in that way too, where it's like not necessarily the drum set, it's the, we'll say the extension of it.
Right.
Yeah. It's a cool product.
Trimming on the icing on the cake, you might say.
Absolutely. Yeah. I mean, if you have a use for it, which like this could also be used as like, I believe, I mean, I don't know if this one does it, but I imagine that it does. It can be used probably as a trigger for samples that could be loaded onto it. Is that right?
I believe so. Because it does have MIDI in and out.
Oh, that would be a really great use for that too, that I didn't even consider when thinking about how to apply it to my project. I had studied drums at Mohawk College with a primary focus in jazz, and then I moved on to going to play drums on cruise ships for a few years. And so I have like a much wider scope of what I've studied and what I'm able to play as a drummer.
Can you tell me about the new LP you have coming up?
Yeah, absolutely. So I write music under the artist name Strict Month, and it goes kind of how I was just talking about how I write for all of the instruments. That's my project where I get to do all of that. And so for the past about year and a half, I've been working on and slowly releasing a full-length album of songs that I wrote over the last, we'll say, 10 to 15 years, because I've been writing songs since I was a teenager, and a lot of those songs I never got to record in any meaningful way, in a way that I felt represented the quality of the songwriting. And so they kind of just sat on the shelf for a long time, and eventually when I started to take an interest in recording myself and knowing how to do that in kind of with more quality and with better resources like the gear and the software and stuff that you need to make it sound good, at that point, I made the decision to go back and take the best of all my old songs and record them with my new ability. And the album is 11 of those songs.
I hear you have a new live music project that'll be coming out soon. Can you tell us about that?
Yeah. So the name of this project is kind of an offshoot of Strict Month. I'm calling it Strict Night. And this will function as kind of, it's the services of a DJ, where you get the recorded music of the dance music that you love. And I remove the drums from those recordings using AI technology. And that gives me space to do my brand of creative drumming over those songs. And I've compiled, I think it's about 11 or 12 mini sets, each of a different genre, which brings us to what we were talking about before about all the different styles. And then using a QR code that people can scan at the shows, they can vote on which style they want to hear. And so while I'm playing one set, people can be voting on what the next set will be. And then when that 20-minute mini set ends, I take a look at the poll. Okay, next one is Disco Fever, we'll say. And I play 20 minutes of disco. And then during that, they vote for the next one, and so on until the end of the night.
My next question is, what gigs do you have? Dates, places you can tell us about?
Yeah. What is the next date that I'm playing? It's not this weekend, but the following weekend. I was stuck in the 90s at, I believe, Old Angel Inn. Created my own website that you can check out. It's flowstatemusicschool.com. And there you can find all the information you need to take music lessons with me. So I offer drum lessons, intermediate to basic guitar lessons, bass, music production, if that's what you're interested in. I have like kind of a specific way that I teach it that, I don't know, maybe like an audio guy like yourself would frown upon in some ways, but maybe not in others. It's like bare bones basement studio recording, how to make your songs come to life.
Really appreciate you coming out and spending the time to go over this and do a review.
Absolutely. I'm really glad to be here. Thanks for having me.
That's it for this video. Our next video, we'll be talking about the Boss Acoustic Singer Pro. And I want to leave you with this. Be good to each other. Share your knowledge. Go out see a live band. And until next time.